What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Sunday. It is May 4th. We are back. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. You can already probably notice the video is a little bit longer than what you're used to, and that is because we help you bring home the bacon. What I mean by that is we go through every game that is playable on a slate. We look at the pitchers in that game. We look at the batters in that game. We look at the past BVP matchups with those pitchers and batters. We also look at batter splits. And how do we do that? We use outlier.bet. So if you've never used Outlier, you can see it right here. What I'm going to do is there'll be a link in the description down below. If you sign up using our link, they're going to give you a 7-day free trial to use with their premium package. After 7 days, if you decide to put that into a normal package, using our link, we are going to give you a free week of FTA+. If you use that link to sign up for their premium pro package, we're going to give you a free month of FantasyTeamAdvisors.com FTA+. So I'm going to show you all things about it, and we'll talk about everything there. Something that maybe differentiates ourselves from the pack, from other people here on YouTube, is we want you to win. So we have a free Discord down below. I give out some core plays, value plays, stacks. We go through that stuff. We also try to have giveaways so you guys can have a chance to see what FTA Plus is all about. 2 ways to win in these videos. The first way, like this video, be a subscriber, and you got to leave a comment on the video. Positive comments make me happier, but a comment is a comment. If this video gets at least 50 likes and you've left a comment, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. So that is a week of all sports. So we've got NASCAR and MLB today. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a shot at a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on that video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And the second way to win, somewhere in this video there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Be on the lookout for it. Listen, type it in, and have your second shot at a free week. Now, we're going to see who the 2 winners of Saturday's video are, or maybe 1 winner, depending if they had the keyword in the winning comment that we have here. But a minimum of 50 likes was had, and that's the only thing that will be used to trigger this. So a minimum of 50 likes, and we will have a giveaway for both. So we are going to see who the 2 winners are. I'm going to click it first. Even if the keyword is in the first comment here, we're still going to re-roll it for the keyword. So the first winner, just because we got a minimum of 50 likes, is in fact Ron Sims 1578. Ron, this might be the first time you've won. I don't recognize your name, so congratulations. All you got to do is email me. You can find the email in the description of this video, and let me know that you are the Saturday video views winner. And if you have a username on our website, let me know that. If you do not, please hit me up in an email with a username, an email, and a password, and we will get you set up for your free pass. So the comment or the keyword from yesterday was Saturdays are for the boys. You had that comment. We're still going to re-roll it. So you still have a shot for your comment to be picked yet again. And the winner of the comment from Saturday is, Jordan, if you would have had the comment, you would have won there. So we're still going to re-roll it. We're going to re-roll it and see who the winner is. There you go, Ron. Just like I said, you are the winner for both of them. So you have won not only the views, but also you have won for the keyword. So congratulations. That is why I'll tell you, and this is a prime example. When you leave your comment, put the keyword in that comment as well. You never know what's going to happen. So Ron, please email me. Congratulations to you yet again. So what we're going to do is we have FTA Plus. It's $10 for a week. It is $30 for a month. It is usually $199, but we have opened up 10 more passes to get a yearly pass for $99 instead of $100 or instead of $200. So you get $100 off. So if you are interested in that, please email me. Let me know if you have Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, and we will get you set up with your year for $100 off. It is first come, first serve. We had 10 passes. We filled one yesterday. 9 left. Hit us up down below. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the games. We're going to go through all of the games here, and we are going to cover them. So we did have the Mets and the Cardinals first game yet on Saturday get postponed, so they've moved it to here. So, but we're not 100% sure which actual pitchers are actually going to go. I could see it changing, but the pitchers from Saturday are now going to be, there's a 6 p.m. game that they're going to do, or Tidwell is now pitching versus Fetty. and vice versa. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit changed. Do not get screwed over because, again, Sundays are day of rest usually for catchers. We're going to talk about that. And also when there's a postponement and the game shifts, sometimes the teams will play one game and the players, and then they won't play the second game. So it's always just a thing to look at, and we will definitely talk about that as well. So that being said, after we get done talking about all of these games here, we're going to give you some more. And you'll probably already see it in the chapters, but we're going to give you some of our core plays, some of our plays we like. So we do 20,000 simulations a day, but before I do this video, we're in our 10,000 simulations. So in that simulations, after this breakdown of the games, we're going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulations. On top of that, after that, we're going to do our Pitches Be Crazy segment, which we look at the teams that strike out the most, the 5 teams that strike out the most that are on this slate, and we give you the pitchers that are facing them. We're going to dig into the numbers a little bit to see how they actually fare and how many times they strike out a game. And then at the very end, we're going to give you our Makin Bacon bet. So what those bets are, we look at the batters, the matchups, the simulations, we look at it all, and we look and give you the batters that we think are going to get at least over 1.5 bases. So we're going to cover that. Then we're going to look at some of the pitchers and some of the strikeouts that we think they will get. So without further ado, let's buckle up and let's rock and roll. So basically, if you saw yesterday's video, I didn't like Eric Fetty. I liked the Mets as a stack, and we're going to go with that same exact one. So I'm stacking the Mets in this one. So you do have Tidwell coming in. Don't really know what we're going to get out of Tidwell. He obviously is getting called up. Looking at his numbers, 5 ERA, it's probably not ideal. So we're probably looking at offense on both sides and not pitching in this. I love the Mets offense a little bit better, but I will look at the St. Louis Cardinals offense as well. So just looking at the game, the players that I would use, it's the same as yesterday. As long as the weather holds off, it's going to be the same as yesterday for the Mets. So Lindor, Francisco Alvarez, I would look at. Pete Alonso, I would look at. If you want to finish a stack there, you could look at maybe Tyrone Taylor, maybe a little bit of Jesse Winker. Juan Soto is there. He is struggling, but, I mean, he had a couple of home runs the other night, so he's obviously always in a good spot there. So that is one that you could look at as well. On the St. Louis side, we can kind of look at that. Just depending, we'll look at it. Brendan Donovan makes sense. Nolan Arenado makes sense. Obviously, they've never faced him before. You could look at Mason Wynn as well in a stack. Victor Scott could be in a stack as well. Pajes or Pozo, depending on who's going to be starting. Again, it's Sunday. Catchers just depends. You could look at those guys as well. So I'm not looking at pitching in this one. That Tidwell makes no sense to me, and Fetty really doesn't make any sense to me as well, and he's cheap as well. So, again, I'll let you guys know. I'm not always right. There will be times that I am wrong, but we are trying to make you better DFS players. I wanted to bring you as much information as I possibly could. So we moved to Kansas City at Baltimore. Now, there is some weather concern here, so that's unfortunate. But you got Michael Lorenzen versus Kyle Gibson. We know that Kyle Gibson, atrocious as last start against the Yankees. Gave up 5 home runs in the first inning. I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but I don't see how I use him against Kansas City. Now, weather being a concern, I am scared about that, but basically he did not have a spring training. He had a couple of starts in the AAA or minor leagues. They called him up against the Yankees offense, which is a wild thing to do. Kansas City's offense is pretty good. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here as well. I'd be looking at Kansas City bats. You look at Lorenzen coming in, going up against Baltimore, 3.48 ERA, 3-3 record, 28 strikeouts. Splits-wise, home and away, again, we need about 2 months worth of data, or probably even get to the All-Star break before we start looking at how they perform on splits-wise, home and on the road, just to kind of get a feel for it. So you look at this. He has not faced Baltimore this year. He's had back-to-back really good starts. If you're new to the channel, usually we try to target 2 to 2.5 times value against for your pitcher on DraftKings. So 6,000, he just needs to get 12 to basically 15 as a minimum floor, and I think he could easily do that. Baltimore, they can strike out. So I am looking a little bit of Lorenzen. I want nothing to do with Gibson, and then I would look at Kansas City bats. So Kansas City bats against Lorenzen, like Jonathan India has 3 bombs against him. Pasquantino has a home run against him. You got Sal Perez with a home run. But then you break the numbers down against righties this year. Bobby Witt, I would use those guys. And then Bobby Witt Jr.'s batting .311 with 3 bombs against righties. You got Drew Waters, would be a very cheap outfield option, batting .308 with a home run. You've got Pasquantino does have 3 home runs. Garcia has 2 home runs. Freddie Furman, if he gets in there, he's got a home run and batting .324 against right-handed pitching. So if the weather holds off, I'll take a little bit of Lorenzen, and I'll take a Kansas City stack. I'm not really looking at Baltimore, and I don't know if this game will get played, so that's kind of one that we just want to kind of take a little look-see at and go from there. So then we got Minnesota at Boston. We got Garrett Crochet going for Boston. We know he's very expensive. He's $10,800. We know that we paid up for him against Toronto. He was $10,500, so he has gone up in price. He had 6 strikeouts in there, so a little bit lower strikeouts than what we were used to in the 3 games prior to that. His price is very expensive. Minnesota, it just depends. He has not faced them this year. In his career, obviously being in the same division when he was with the White Sox, he's faced them before, so we kind of look at that. And 34 plate appearances, 35.3 K percentage against this current Twins roster. And then on the flip side of that, Chris Paddock, 250 batting average, 30 plate appearances as well. So Boston strikes out 4th most out of any team, according to the strikeouts there. But Paddock comes in with a 5.60 ERA. Really has not hit value the past couple of starts, and barely scraped by with value against some other teams. Scares me a little bit. Just the way that Boston has been playing, I don't know if I want to use either. If I'm using a pitcher, it's Crochet. If I'm using bats, it's probably going to be Boston bats. I'm looking at Jarren Duran, Trevor Story, Alex Bregman, Wilyer Abreu, Christian Campbell. These are the guys that I would look at here in this game. I am probably fading Paddock in most, but if you're one that makes like 20 to 25 lineups, putting Paddock in there because Boston does strike out 4th most out of any team, over 9 times a game, I don't mind that. You could also look at him for just sports betting and not DFS. So weather looks to be good there. We should be pretty good there. Tampa Bay at the Yankees. The Yankees bullpen, a.k.a. Mark Leiter, who I absolutely hate as a human being, lost the game for him. Lost the game there. But it's a new day, but weather is a concern in this one as well. So we'll just kind of see. We're obviously 18 hours away from first pitch. So we look at that, and it can change a little bit, but the forecast right now does not look ideal. You got Taj Bradley versus Will Warren. Warren has been very hit or miss. 4.7 against Baltimore, 14.9 against Cleveland, 0.2 against Tampa Bay, who he's facing now, 20.9 versus San Francisco. He kind of goes up and down. So he's already faced Tampa Bay once this year. For 1.2 innings, so he didn't even get out of the second inning. Only 1 earned run, only 1 strikeout, but for whatever reason, they yanked him at 53 pitches. I don't remember why, and now they've dropped his price down to 6,300. So as anemic as this Tampa Bay offense has been overall, minus the 3 runs they put up on Saturday, I don't mind him at 6,300 because he is cheaper. They have dropped his price the last 4 straight games. So that's kind of what I'd look at. Taj Bradley, on the other hand, he comes in with a 4.59 ERA. Against the Yankees, he gave up 6 earned runs in there, minus 1.8. If the game gets played, I want nothing to do with Bradley. I do want to look at the Yankees' bat. So Aaron Judge is absolutely on another planet right now. Bar none, he is the best hitter in baseball currently. Ohtani is not. Ohtani, and you can't use the argument that Ohtani pitches because he hasn't pitched in 2 years. He's not a pitcher right now. Until he steps on that mound and he continuously hits, he's not the best player. Okay, Aaron Judge right now is batting like .430. His multi-home run game or multi-hit games, he's on base. He hits home runs. I am looking at him. I'm looking at the Yankees here. So what I would do is I would use Will Warren in tournaments, and I would use the Yankees as a stack. So Aaron Judge, number 1. Paul Goldschmidt has been a godsend for 1 year for their price that they paid for him. He is another one I'd look at. If Jason Dominguez gets in there, I want a little bit of Jason Dominguez. I want a little bit of Jorbert Vivas if he gets in there. He made his debut on Friday, been quiet, but he is there, and he's a cheap option if he does get the start there. A couple of others you could look at, Cody Bellinger, a little bit. And then it just depends. Ben Rice has been amazing, especially if he leads off or plays right there. Austin Wells is another one that I'd look at. So kind of was slow, but hit a home run yesterday. So do not expect the Yankees to lose this game. Obviously, anything can happen. Weather is a concern. But I would look at the Yankees as a stack. I will use Will Warren as a tournament. That's probably it, though. I don't trust him in cash. I definitely don't trust him in cash because they pull him so quickly, and I don't really understand why. So, next game, we've got San Diego at Pittsburgh. You got Andrew Heaney versus Stephen Kolek, I believe is how you say the name. So Kolek has never faced this team before. They called him up, have him start Sunday. Kolek turned in. He's got 6.38 ERA in 5 starts. That's not ideal. Just like yesterday, I'm looking at a Pittsburgh stack yet again. I want nothing to do with Kolek here. He is 4,000, so you could always throw him in there for tournaments. Maybe you look at this because he is so cheap. It depends on how deep he's going to go into the game. That's the problem. So Kolek for tournaments, only because he's 4K, he will allow you to do a lot of things in these lineups. Then you got Andrew Heaney. I don't know how he's doing what he's doing. He's got a 2.50 ERA. He is coming off a bad start against the Cubs. We stacked the Cubs against him, and it worked out because the Cubs offense has been dominant when we've used him this year. But he's had some good games, like 34.9, 24.3, 30.2 against the Yankees. Like, he's had great games. We look at this, and the Padres, overall, they're not hitting lefties as well. That's what's wild. Manny Machado, I don't believe, has a home run against a lefty now. So in this game, at the moment, I would look a little bit at Pittsburgh bats, just depending. But there is some weather concern here as well that's kind of scaring me away from it right now. So if we are looking at some of the bats that make sense for the Pirates, and again, it'll all be dependent on who starts the game, like who's going to be in this game, and if the weather does hold off. But if I am looking at some of these bats for the Pirates, if you want to go with a stack against Kolek and you feel comfortable with that, O'Neal Cruz, I think, has to be at the top. So we're looking at O'Neal Cruz, number 1. Ke'Bryan Hayes would be my number 2. My number 3 would be probably Joey Bart if he gets the start. I don't know who would be catching, or Henry Davis. Again, it's Sunday, day of rest. They usually rest some catchers these days. On Sundays, those are probably what I'd look at. Depending on the lineup that's out there, maybe a little bit of Brian Reynolds, maybe a little bit of Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is kind of cold right now. Just don't get on his bad side because he'll try and fight literally every single one of us. That being said, monitor the weather. I would look at Andrew Heaney, and I would look at the Pittsburgh Pirates as some sort of stack that probably goes under-owned tonight, but we'll definitely have to check it out. So the next game we've got going on is the Cleveland Guardians versus the Toronto Blue Jays. You got Tanner Bybee versus Bowden Francis. Bybee, 26 plate appearances, 280 batting average against this current roster for the Blue Jays. And then Bowden Francis, 17 plate appearances, a 176. Jose Ramirez being hurt or day-to-day does take away a big bat in this lineup if he, in fact, misses this game. You never know what's going to happen. Let's check it out. Sprained ankle on Friday, did not play on Saturday. You could see Will Wilson being a cheap option if Ramirez misses this game as well. So that's a huge bat out of there. So we look at both of the pitchers, and I honestly don't mind either of these pitchers. Bybee against Toronto. Bybee comes in 4.36 ERA. Did have a good start against Minnesota, a good start against the Yankees. And then that's basically it. And it kind of a good start against Kansas City, barely hit the floor minimum there. But Toronto can hit, especially at home. And then Bowden Francis coming in, he's 6,600, but for whatever reason this year he's got a damn near 6 ERA, coming off a horrible start against Boston. 7 earned runs in 3 innings. 2 bad starts in a row, a great start against Seattle, bad start against Baltimore, underperformed against the Mets, and kind of underperformed against Washington. So overall, he really hasn't been that good. Both are righties. Just through these simulations that I've already looked at on the screen over here, I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this one, and I would look at the bats on both sides. So Cleveland bats against Francis. No one's hit a home run, but you can see Stephen Kwan's batting .321 with 4 bombs against righties this year. He would be at the top of my list. Gabriel Arias batting .265. I would definitely look at him. Bo Naylor's more of a tournament option. He's only batting 179 against righties, but he does have 4 home runs. Another one, Will Wilson, if he does get in there and start, he is a cheap option there, especially if J-Ram is out. You've always got yourself a little bit of Martinez at 295 batting average. Carlos Santana being a switch hitter like Manzardo is another one I would look at. So I will have a stack on both sides. I will not have the pitching. And then Bybee against the Toronto Blue Jays. Vladdy's got a home run against him. George Springer has a home run against him. Overall this year, though, against righties, they're not doing the best, but Bo Bichette's still batting 291. I believe he had a home run on Saturday. Vladdy's 275 batting average I would look at. Dalton Varsho, again, he really hasn't started much. 429 batting average with 2 bombs, but that's only 7 at-bats. So not a ton, but he's had mild success there. Other than that, I don't know if I'd be stacking 100% here. But like if you need like one or like you have 2 primary and a secondary stack, and then you need like 1 or 2 players, Toronto Blue Jays aren't bad here. I don't know if a full stack does it though. We'll have to monitor to see. But at the moment, I'm not feeling like 4 or 5 batters from either team right now. I kind of like Cleveland's offense a little bit more just because both pitchers are kind of struggling, but Bowden Francis is struggling a little bit more. The Athletics at Miami, weather is not a concern. We are in a dome, which is always a good thing. We don't have to worry about that. You got J.P. Sears versus Edward Cabrera. Sears, 5 plate appearances against Miami, no hits, 40% K, so 2 strikeouts. So again, that very low. And then Edward Cabrera, 19 plate appearances, 167 here. So they really have not seen much. Sears is averaging 17.8 fantasy points. Coming off a great start against Texas, 5.2 innings, 1 earned run. Problem is, his pitch count gets up there pretty quickly. Doesn't walk a ton, but he gets into like high pitch count here quite a bit. Value-wise, he is hitting value for the past 4 starts. He now gets a plus matchup here against Miami. So I'll have a little bit of Sears. I don't mind him whatsoever. And then Edward Cabrera in here, 7.23 ERA, 4 starts. He's coming off a bad start against the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers, though. But the Athletics have been hitting. That is the thing. The Athletics have been hitting pretty well. And I could definitely see us coming in and having some sort of Athletic stack yet again. In their career against Cabrera, no one has a home run, but against right-handed pitching this year, they are hitting very well. Tyler Soderstrom batting 299 with 8 bombs. Urias batting 250 with 4 bombs. Nick Kurtz batting 292. You got Lawrence Butler batting 269 with 4 bombs. Brent Rooker batting 245 with 6 bombs. I believe he had one on Saturday. So you always look at that. And, yeah, Brent Rooker had a solo home run, 409 feet on Saturday. So he's hitting the ball very well. Maybe not the best batting average against righties, but believe it or not, 241 batting average last year was league average. So he's technically hitting, I think it's lower right now. Let me pause the video and see what the current league average is. The league average right now in 2025 is 243. So he is hitting 2 points above the league average. So technically still above league average. So he would be one that I'd look at. JP Sears, if you were to go, like I think a lot of people are going to be on Sears, so if you want to take a sneaky attack and go with Miami as a stack, because I think they will go under-owned. Against left-handed pitching, they are actually hitting pretty good. You could look at this, depending on the lineup you want to go out there, but Kyle Stowers batting 520 against lefties. You could use him. Myers, we're looking at 407 batting average. Wagaman, 270 batting average, 2 home runs. Sanoa, 348 batting average. Otto Lopez, 231 with a home run. Matt Mervis, 333, again, 2 for 6 with a home run. So they're decent. I think they will go under-owned today. So a sneaky stack could, in fact, be Miami. A lot of people are going to be on the Athletics. And this is how you take down tournaments. And this is how some of you have told me. Some of you have told me you've had some real good success using us, which is awesome. I had a couple more people donate or tip us, whatever you want to call it, yesterday, which has been awesome, guys. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can email me down below, ask me PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App, and you guys can send if you want. You don't have to, but for everyone who has recently, thank you so much. A way to support the channel if you can't afford it is just watching these videos in their entirety. Literally watch the entire thing. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, but also maybe play these videos a couple times in the background while you're doing some other things on. You can put it on mute even. Just get that watch time up for us. That helps us with the algorithm more than you guys know. April was our best month in ad revenue. I would love to beat the April numbers. So if we go to the next game, we got Arizona at Philly, and yet again, we have another game with weather concern. We have 2 more games with weather concerns here. I don't like it. We're just part of the season where it's the rainy part of the season, basically. So you got Ranger Suarez coming off the IL versus Eduardo Rodriguez. So Suarez making his debut. Yeah, spring training. 16.2 innings, 4 starts, 24 batters, strikeout. So those are great numbers, okay? But again, now you're in the major leagues. I don't know how deep he'll go into this game. That is the problem here. Not sure how deep he'll go into the game. And with that being said, that always scares me a little bit. It does have a good matchup here, though. And then Erod coming in, going up against Philly. He's got a 6.06 ERA. We stacked the Mets against him in his last start. 8 earned runs against him. 3 home runs, 1 strikeout. The strikeout was low there, -11. He is very expensive, and he has not hit value in 5 of his 7 starts, or 5 of his 6 starts. He hit value, or he hit 4 of his 6 starts. He hit value against Miami, you're supposed to, and he hit value against Washington when he was cheaper. I don't trust him against this Philly team. I know the Philly team has kind of struggled-ish overall. I'm going to avoid. I'm probably avoiding both pitchers. Like, I love Ranger Suarez here, but I just don't know how deep he'll go into the game. If you want to throw him in tournaments, that is okay. But the fact that he's still 8,300 and he hasn't pitched in his regular season yet this year, and we are a month in, I don't like that. But he could have a good game. You never know. Arizona bats who have had success against Suarez. Eugenio Suarez, 1 for 2 with a home run, so his numbers look inflated. That's the only one with a home run. Against left-handed pitching, though, they really haven't done as well. Gabriel Moreno last year did very well. You could see he's only batting .235 this year. Perdomo batting .371 against lefties, so he is a cheaper option you could look at. Eugenio Suarez is Kyle Schwarber. It's boom or bust. It's home run or nothing out of him. So if you take him, expect that. Tim Tawa, .231 batting average. I don't mind him. Barossa, I don't mind. Corbin Carroll, I don't mind. I don't know if I'll stack in this one, though. And then Philly bats against Erod. Max Kepler has 2 home runs. I think he hit a home run on Friday. I don't think he hit one on Saturday. But then you can look at, for whatever reason, Kyle Schwarber is Babe Ruth against left-handed pitching this year, batting .317 with 5 bombs. But again, he doesn't get on base other than a home run normally. So build that out. That's kind of what you expect. Trey Turner against lefties this year, .395. You got Nick Castellanos, .361. You got Johan Rojas batting .364. So they do hit lefties well. That doesn't bode well for someone who's got a high ERA. I could see another outing like we saw Erod have last game, give up 8 runs like he did against the Mets. I could see Philly putting up 8 runs here as well. So I am off of Erod. I am looking at Philly as a stack here. You might even want to look at maybe like a couple of different ones. And we talked about this before, but FanDuel, you can only pick 4 batters for a stack. DraftKings, you can pick 5. So if there's more than 5 batters that you like for Philly, maybe you got to make multiple different lineups to really get a feel for the perfect batters here. And it kind of feels like that this way too. Houston at the White Sox is next. Weather is a concern in this one as well. What we got going on here is Lance McCullers making his debut. He has not pitched since, I believe, the 2022 World Series, which is wild. He has not pitched since 2022. It's 2.5 years. Minor leagues doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care about that. Don't know how deep he's going to go into this game. He's 8,400 because he's going up against the White Sox. I can't trust him. Do you want to throw him in a tournament? I'm okay with that, but I don't trust him. Bryce Wilson, 5 ERA, 0-1 record. We stacked Milwaukee against him last time. He really didn't do anything. He got pulled pretty early after 58 pitches, so that's unfortunate, but he has not hit value. I think McCullers in tournaments I'm okay with. That's probably the extent that I would do. But looking at the bats and looking at different sides here, this is where it kind of breaks it down. So if we took Houston bats against Bryce Wilson, like Jake Myers has a home run. I think he had 2 on Saturday. I think 2. Against right-handed pitching, DeZenzo batting 265 if he gets in there. Isaac Paredes batting 286 with 4 bombs. Jeremy Pena. I think Pena had a home run on Saturday. 4 or 5 bombs now. Christian Walker with 4. Jose Altuve with 4. Like, they're hitting righties well. I don't trust Bryce Wilson. I think it goes from Bryce Wilson down to the bullpen, and then the bullpen is kind of where we're at there. So I would look at stacking the Astros here, depending on the lineup that comes out. Yainer Diaz or Victor Caratini, depending on who's the catcher for the day. I would look at them. And then everyone in green here is on a plus matchup here for me. And this just feels like Houston might be another one that you do 2+ different stacks with. And that's kind of where I'm at. If you think McCullers is going to have a bad game and he's going up against the White Sox, you could look at maybe a Bobby Dahlbeck. You could look at Andrew Benintendi. You could look at Michael Taylor, Luis Robert, maybe Andrew Vaughn, and Lennon Sosa. Like Chicago, I think the White Sox could be a sneaky stack. I don't know what we're going to get out of McCullers. That's the problem. Like, his numbers are good in the minor leagues, but those are minor league hitters. They're not major league hitters, and he hasn't pitched in 2.5 years to actual good, I don't want to say good teams because the White Sox, you know what I mean. I don't trust it as much. So McCullers for tournaments, maybe I'll have a couple lineups with him in it, but I won't have Bryce Wilson at all. So then we move to the Chicago Cubs versus Milwaukee Brewers. You've got Freddie Peralta, who's been dominant this year, versus Amanaga, who's also been dominant. Now, Freddie Peralta, 2.52 ERA. He does get into some high pitch counts. Like 90-plus pitches within like the 5th or 6th inning. That's the problem. He really hasn't hit value since in 2 starts, and he hasn't hit value here like the majority of the time. Like, he's had some good matchups, and then he's had some bad matchups. Like against Colorado, he did okay, 21.7 at 7,800. That was in Coors. You look at his splits, this will be his 8th start of the year already at home. He's only had 2 starts, 0.69. My problem is he might have a good game, but then get pulled in the 4th or 5th inning if he's high in pitch count. So that's what scares me. And the way that the Cubs offense has been going, that's all I can say. So Amanaga said that his leg feels good and was slated to have a normal in-between starts workout Wednesday. He had to depart the game in Pittsburgh in the 6th inning due to cramps. So he did hit value, but barely hit 2 times value there against Pittsburgh. And then he's had some games where he has given up 5+ earned runs in there. Milwaukee can hit, usually against lefties here. So I think both pitchers are a tournament option. They are very expensive. And just the offense of the Cubs' offense has been stupid good this year so far. A lot of home runs. So if you think Peralta is going to struggle, or you think he's going to get out of the game early, they have hit home runs against him. 5 home runs. John Birdie has a home run. Michael Busch has a home run. Nico Horner, Ian Happ, and Suzuki all have home runs. Against right-handed pitching, though, they are hitting very well. Carson Kelly, 410 batting average, 6 bombs. Miguel Amaya, if he's the starting catcher, 300 batting average, 1 home run. Michael Busch has 5 home runs, batting 289 against righties. You got Pete Crow Armstrong with multiple home runs and batting 280. You got Kyle Tucker batting 294. Like, I know Freddie Peralta is normally good, but I think Chicago Cubs make sense, the biggest sense, to do 2+ different stacks here. Because I like everyone in this lineup pretty much, except for Justin Turner, Nicky Lopez. I mean, yeah. Those would be about the only ones I wouldn't use. So I think we did make multiple different lineups here. Then Milwaukee against Amanaga. Christian Yelich does have a home run. Against lefties, though, they are hitting very well. Caleb Durbin batting 333 again. It's 9 at-bats. Rhys Hoskins, 31 plate appearances or at-bats, 290 batting average. You got Jackson Chourio batting 340 with a couple of bombs. You got Sal Frelick batting 366 against lefties. Like, they are hitting lefties well. Depends on which Amanaga we're going to get. Like, he sometimes has gems, and then some games he gives up 5 earned runs. So I'll have exposure to the offenses probably more than I'll have exposure to the pitchers in this one. And then the final one on the main slate, we got Seattle at Texas. So we look at the matchup here. On paper, you're like, oh, Texas, yeah. So you have Jacob deGrom going up against Logan Evans. So Logan Evans has never faced or Texas before. He's got one start under his belt. Seattle, they don't have pitching. Their pitching's getting hurt. He did not hit, for whatever reason, they brought up Logan Evans, and DK gave him an $8,000 salary. No reason why. Did not hit value there. Now he's going up against Texas. They have dropped him down to 7,000. So if he gets what he got last time, we're good. 5 innings. If he hadn't had 3 walks, we're probably looking at 17 to 18 fantasy points. So I don't mind him, but I don't love it. And then deGrom, I have a bet that he's not going to pitch over 100 innings. I might be wrong. He's had 3 starts in a row that have been decent. 1 did not hit value. He's now 9,500 going up against Seattle. Seattle does strike out the 7th most. They strike out 8.74 times per game. And when they're on the road, they strike out 9 times a game on the road. So deGrom, we're looking probably about 6 to 7 strikeouts out of him at 9,500. He is one that I'd pay up for. Logan Evans, for tournaments, I'm okay with. I don't love it. Then we've got the Seattle Mariners at the Texas Rangers. We're going to look at the bats in this one now. So if you aren't going with pitching, you're just strictly going off bats. Mitch Garver is 2 for 2. Both hits against deGrom are home runs for Mitch Garver. I don't know if he'll start or if it's Cal Raleigh. I don't know which one. But Mitch Garver, he sees the ball out of his hand well, I guess. Rowdy Tellez has a home run. Jorge Polanco has a home run. Polanco's been on fire this year. So if you aren't going with him and you want to go with these bats, like Cal Raleigh's got 7 bombs, batting .253. He had a big grand slam on Friday night. You could look at him. J.P. Crawford against righties this year, .294. You got Jorge Polanco, 9 home runs, a .388 batting average against right-handed pitching. Jorge Polanco might be my favorite bat of the day, even above Aaron Judge. And, those are the bats you'd look at. You want one-offs for tournaments. J-Rod is only batting .213. You got Rowdy Tellez only batting .176, but he hits righties better. Again, it's .176. 4 bombs out of him. Texas bats obviously have never seen Logan Evans before. Against right-handed pitching, though, this year, Josh Young batting .305 with a couple of bombs. You got Josh Smith batting .321 with a couple of bombs. Adolis Garcia has 4 bombs. Wyatt Langford batting .309. I don't mind a Texas stack, to be honest with you. Just the ones we talked about. You could even look at Dustin Harris. Maybe Jonah Heim, but he's only batting .224. But it's not too far below the league average for the year. So that's what's crazy. So in this game, I'm probably looking at deGrom a little bit more, but I will have exposure to both sides on offense. So there you have it. That is the main slate done. And now we're going to talk the afternoon slate. My favorite pitcher of the day, Logan Webb, going up against Colorado at home in a pitcher's ballpark against the team that strikes out the most. That's why he's the picture of the video and article. He's averaging 21.3 fantasy points a game, going up against German Marquez. I want nothing to do with Marquez. I want nothing to do with the Colorado offense. I want everything to do with Logan Webb. Logan Webb at home's got a 0 ERA and 2 starts. He's got 13.1 innings, 16 strikeouts. Okay? He's doing very well at home. He's averaging 29.1 at home. Now, we've talked how splits don't matter, but it is a massive ballpark. It is a ginormous ballpark that bodes well for pitching. So I'm looking at Logan Webb, and I'm looking at taking the Giants' bats against Marquez. I do not trust Marquez whatsoever. We stacked against Marquez his last start. We took Atlanta, and Atlanta is bad. Normally, they have been hitting well lately. Marquez has 3 straight negative starts. In those starts, he's given up 20 earned runs. Okay, he has 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. He's been bad. He's got a 9.82 ERA. Colorado has nothing else. He's 5K. I wouldn't even use him for tournaments. I would 100% be looking at Logan Webb. I'm 100% looking at San Francisco as a stack. Against Webb, against Marquez, Matt Chapman has 2 bombs. Wilmer Flores has a home run. Lamont Wade has a home run. And Mike Yastrzemski has a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, I would be looking at these bats. Willy Adames makes a ton of sense for me. Matt Chapman makes sense. Wilmer Flores makes sense. Lamont Wade makes sense. Jung-Ho Lee and Mike Yastrzemski. I am using Elliot Ramos as well. San Francisco feels like one of those teams where here's my hope. That Marquez has another bad outing, and it's to the point where it's a Sunday. Maybe they travel. Well, they are traveling. They're not at home. San Francisco dominates. We get the fantasy points we need. And they keep in Marquez because let's say he gives up a ton of runs in like the first or second inning and they don't want to burn through their bullpen arms. And then we just pile on top of that. So San Francisco might be my favorite stack, if not my second favorite stack of the day. And all of this will be on our cheat sheet as well, the stacks we like. But I absolutely love San Francisco here. I want nothing, absolutely nothing to do with anything Colorado today. If you want to go Colorado to be off the wall that people won't be on, you can, but I'm not going that direction. Detroit at the Angels is next. You got Reese Olson versus Jack Kachanowicz. So we look at these numbers. Now, Detroit does strike out the 5th most out of any team, so you could look at that. Reese Olson coming in. The Angels strike out 2nd most. So there could be a lot of strikeouts in this game. Reese Olson has been up and down. He has hit value in his last 3 starts. Did not hit value against Minnesota. He is going in, 5.2 innings, 7.1. He's getting 85-plus pitches in these games. So that's what we can expect out of him, most likely, as long as he doesn't get hurt. Then Kachanowicz here. We used him against Seattle because they do strike out. He did get 6 strikeouts, but he had 4 walks, so it kind of screwed us over a little bit. But he was only 5,500. But Detroit's offense has been really good this year as well. That's what scares me. I think I'll have exposure to Reese Olson. I don't know if I'll have exposure to Kachanowicz outside of sports betting because he is 5th. Pitches be crazy here. Detroit bats against him. They haven't done anything. Against right-handed pitching this year, Dingler batting .302 with a couple of bombs. Colt Keith, .214 batting average, 2 bombs. You got Spencer Torkelson with 4 bombs. You got Kerry Carpenter with .291 batting average, 5 bombs. Riley Green, .298 batting average, 7 bombs. Those are the bats that I would use. I really want nothing to do with the Angels offense. I'll have Reese Olson, and I'll have Detroit offense as a stack here. Then we got the Washington Nationals at the Reds as the final game that we can play because then the Mets and Cardinals make up their second makeup game, and then Dodgers-Braves are the Sunday night baseball game. But if we look at Washington and Cincy, there is some weather concern, and this is in this ballpark. I think they just played. No, maybe I'm wrong. Mackenzie Gore comes in, 3.51 ERA, 59 strikeouts. Game log-wise, coming off, kind of underperformed against Philly. Had 6 strikeouts there. Did well against Baltimore, did well against Colorado with 13 strikeouts. So Mackenzie Gore has had 2 starts this year with 13 strikeouts. The problem is it's in the ballpark that gives up the most home runs, in Cincinnati, Great American Small Park. As long as the weather holds off, that is. And then you got Nick Martinez. 4.68 ERA. He did actually hit value against the Cardinals. We used him last week. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 17.3. A great value there. Against Washington, maybe in tournaments. I think both pitchers are tournament pitchers. I don't trust them outside of that. So then if we look at that, you got Riley Adams. Has not faced him before. So the batters that have had, C.J. Abrams has a home run. That's it against Nick Martinez. But you can see they do hit righties better this year. So Keibert Ruiz batting .299 with a home run. You got C.J. Abrams batting .295 with 3 bombs. Josh Bell did have a home run on Saturday, or was that Friday? Might have been Friday. I can't remember. Only batting .150, but has 4 bombs. Then Luis Garcia batting .274, Nate Lowe batting .282. I love Nate Lowe against a righty. And then James Wood batting .256 with 6 bombs. Dylan Cruz has 4. So I like Washington as a stack. Washington could be a 2+ stack type of day for me as well. And the flip side of that, Cincy bats against Mackenzie Gore. They haven't had success. I mean, Espinal batting 385 against lefties. That's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it there. So I look at that. I still don't try. I mean, Noel V. Marte batting 313 against lefties. Espinal batting 385. Ellie De La Cruz batting 244. He's a switch hitter, but he is better from the left side with 2 home runs. Matt McClain with 2 home runs. Like, I could see Austin Hayes 4 for 8, so he's only had basically 2 starts. I don't mind them, but I think I like Mackenzie Gore a little bit more. I don't think I'll have any exposure to Nick Martinez whatsoever. And there you go. That is the breakdown right there of the main slate and the 3-game afternoon slate for your Sunday, May 4th. So the keyword of the day is, or the key phrase is, May the 4th be with you, because it is Star Wars Day. So congratulations if you guys have made it this far and listened for what we just talked about. So that being said, we are done with that portion. We are now going to talk about all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 sims. Now, our record for overall is 38. I'm going to let you know right now, we're not going to beat that, but there are quite a bit, and we'll talk about all of that. So, through 10,000 sims, number 1 is Shohei Ohtani. That's Sunday Night Baseball. Number 2 is Aaron Judge. Number 3 is Geraldo Perdomo, which I said is a cheap option that I love. Number 4 is Bobby Witt Jr. 5 is Jarren Duran. 6 is Alex Bregman. 7, Rafi Devers. 8, Jonathan India. 9, Kerry Carpenter. 10, Mookie Betts. 11, Freddie Freeman. 12, Francisco Lindor. 13, Willy Adames. 14, Mike Yastrzemski. 15, Francisco Lindor for the second game, so it depends. 17 is Juan Soto. Next is Marcell Ozuna, Matt Chapman, Manny Machado, Zach McKinstry, and then a San Francisco stack to end it here. Elliot Ramos, Wilmer Flores, Lamont Wade Jr., and finally Jung Ho Lee, all against Marquez. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to stack San Francisco as one of the top stacks. It literally loves 7 of the 9 starters in this lineup for that. So that is what I'm telling you. San Francisco is probably, like I said, one of my favorite stacks of the day. So there you go. Those are all of the 10 out of 10. If you want to see even more than that, you got to check out FTA+. It's under the MLB tab under the matchup tool right here. Now we're going to do Pitchers Be Crazy. These are all the pitchers, the top 5 pitchers against the teams that strike out the most. Number 1 is Logan Webb versus the Rockies. The Rockies strike out 10.22 times per game, 10.18 on the road. Reese Olson at the Angels. Angels strike out 9.55 times per game, 9.82 at home. Number 3 is Taj Bradley at the Yankees. Yankees strike out 9.38 times per game, 8.44 on the road. This is where I'll tell you, I'm not using Taj Bradley. He got dominated by them last time. I don't care. I want nothing to do with Taj Bradley. Number 4 is Chris Paddock at Boston. Boston strikes out 9.21 times per game, 8.73 on the road. I'm really not looking at Chris Paddock for DFS purposes either. Maybe you look at sports betting, but I don't know. And then number 5 is Jack Kochanowicz versus Detroit. Detroit strikes out 9.12 times per game, 10.06 times on the road. So to reiterate that, number 1 is Logan Webb. Number 2 is Reese Olson. 3 is Taj Bradley, which I'm not using. 4 is Chris Paddock, which I'm not using. And 5 is Jack Kochanowicz, which I'm also not using. I love Logan Webb today. I love Reese Olson today. So those are your pitchers be crazy. Now we're going to go over the batters we think are in a great matchup to get over 1.5 bases. So we are doing make and bacon bets. There might be a lot today. Number 1 is Jarren Duran against Chris Paddock. Number 2 is Alex Bregman. 3 is Kerry Carpenter. 4 is Rafi Devers. So 3 of the top 4 are Boston stacks. 5 is Shohei Ohtani. 6 is Manny Machado. 7 is Aaron Judge. 8 is Geraldo Perdomo. 9 is Bobby Witt Jr. 10 is Freddie Freeman. 11 is Francisco Lindor. And 12 is Willy Adames. 13 is Lindor against Fetty. So it depends on which game you're playing, but you can still sports bet that. So Lindor for both matchups, Sims love him in both games. So there's a ton. I wouldn't say, parlay all of those together, but like maybe 3 of them, 4 of them, be pretty good there. Then we look at the strikeouts. So the pitchers we think are going to get that. So Logan Webb, first 10,000 Sims has him as the number 1 pitcher today, which I absolutely love. That's why he's the picture of this video. The line to look at against the Rockies, 8 to 9, over 7.5 to over 8.5 strikeouts. So if you want to take those lines, you can do that. Number 2 is Mackenzie Gore. The line I would look at is probably about 7 strikeouts or 8 strikeouts. See which your book has, because not every book has all the lines. Number 3 is Jacob deGrom versus Seattle. I would look right about 6 strikeouts, maybe 7 strikeouts, depending on the odds that you get favorable. Number 4, Will Warren. The line at 5 strikeouts is probably as low as I would go. And then Garrett Crochet, I would look about 5 to 6 strikeouts. And finally, Reese Olson against the Angels. I would see what their book looks like, but 5+ strikeouts or 6+ strikeouts is where I'd go in the strikeout department. So that being said, I absolutely love Logan Webb today. I absolutely love San Francisco as the top stack. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to find that keyword we talked about or key phrase and win it. Good luck to everybody watching. Hopefully you have a great, hopefully you had a great weekend. Hopefully you have a safe Sunday. I know we got work tomorrow. It's Monday, but we'll be back at Cinco de Mayo. We'll be back with DFS. We'll be back with everything for you. And don't forget, check out FTA Plus. Get a weekly pass, a monthly pass, or we do have the yearly pass. 9 passes left with $100 off. If you are interested, email me right now, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's what I've got in this video. Good luck, and as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.